like I just heard this. Are they playing this on repeat?
We got a review here today with the two Vinny D Stan fans right here versus the haters, the critics, the naysayers that try to bring down the best leading man in Hollywood. We got Todd and Lindsay.
This all comes full circle. The first time I was ever on this podcast, I hated on Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It comes back. Yeah, because we had you pick one movie to go with Vinny D on a date with. And you said none.
None. Please get me away from him.
But yeah, no, we're talking Bloodshot today. The last film to be released in theaters. A little divisive of a review, and we'll sort of get into that. Lindsay, I think you're the freshest off this, so I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just finished it like an hour ago.
Nice. What are your thoughts on this masterpiece?
Wow, it's not a masterpiece. I do think it's like solidly entertaining, but just kind of boring. I was kind of disappointed just because I thought it'd be like stupid but fun. But I was kind of just like, this is kind of bland. I think it's just because Vin Diesel is just so boring to me that his character had no personality either.
How dare you?
I know, I'm so sorry. But it looked really good. Like, I really liked the style of it. Like, the nanobots were stupid, but they looked really cool when they were utilized in a fight. So I liked some aspects of it. It just wasn't a movie for me, I think.
Gotcha. Todd, what are some of your general thoughts on Bloodshot?
I disliked this movie. I think, but I like the basic premise of the film. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and so bad sci-fi bothers me. And like, I just didn't connect to this. I think that Vin Diesel, outside of the Fast and the Furious films, is like, he's just watching, like, I don't know, like anything act. Like, that's kind of how it feels to me. Like, I don't really like his acting style. And I just didn't connect to this movie very much, to be quite honest.
Gotcha. I'll let Theo go first of the Stan Club. Give us some thoughts on Bloodshot.
I think it's impressive that you may actually stand this more than I do. I think it may have just been expectations. I kind of just went in being like, this movie seems pretty bad, but whatever. I thought. So I actually ended up loving Bad Boys for Life. It's my number one movie of 2020 for me so far. And so I was like, listen, I went into Bad Boys for Life thinking it'd be really meh, and I ended up loving it. I gave it 4 stars. Mm-hmm. And for this one, I was like, okay, you know what? Give it a try. Like, I don't think it'll be nearly as good, but whatever. There's nothing else to do. And I watched it, and it wasn't quite as good as Bad Boys for Life for me, but maybe just the low expectations helped. I thought the concept intrigued me a little bit. Like, I was interested in what they could do with, like, he can't. I mean, I guess it's really simple and it's been done a lot. Like, this dude who can't die because of nanobots. But I guess I don't see it too often, so I was interested in what they do with it. I didn't actually. Well, it's funny because I actually watched the trailer before I watched the movie, and with the trailer totally spoils, I think, like everything. But the thing is. But the thing is, I'm one of those people who has a memory of like a goldfish. So when I watched the movie, I was like, "What?" Like I totally forgot about the spoiler, and when the spoiler happened, I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot. I already knew this was happening." And so, in a lot of ways, I thought the twist was interesting, and I think there is a lot that this movie is saying not well done, but I think that there's a lot the movie is tackling in terms of like body autonomy and like like privatization and like government control like bodies and all the things that they were talking about, like, oh yeah, you've been resurrected, but now like you owe your life to like this company, this corporation. What are like the ethics of that? And it's just kind of like, wow, I think that there's a lot going on just in a bad movie. If that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I think what pulled it up for me was I just really like the aerodynamics simulation in the tunnel with all the red and blue lighting and all the flour going everywhere. That was pretty rad. I really like Guy Pearce a lot too. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's safe to say that like I just really like Guy Pearce. Maybe that's why I like this movie.
Nice. So I guess I'll build off that. I was very hesitant on this film going into it, similar to I'm sure everybody else here. It has a 2.3 currently on Letterboxd. Let's bump those ratings, by the way, everyone. But it
I help bring them down.
The one thing that made me even more hesitant. I know this sounds weird, but Theo kept telling me they were like, "Oh, it's actually good. It's actually good." And there's a couple times Theo has said that to me, and it has not worked out. So because of that, like going into this, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, this will be a bad
Which
movie
ones?
that's like sort of fun, and I'll work with that." And that's what the first act of this film is. I think it's very much what Todd was talking about, where Vin Diesel is a very average actor who's playing a soldier that just happens to be dating like the most beautiful woman. And of course, this is like Vin Diesel's fantasy where he thinks he's like the biggest, buffest soldier and he gets the hottest, blondest girl. And I think what it boils down for me is that I think this is a film that knows Vin Diesel at the end of the day is a goofball. Like he pretends to be like this big action hero, tough guy, but he's a goober. And like this sort of brings it back to like pacifier levels of him like being more absurd. And I could talk about some of this stuff in spoilers. I hope we get to do a spoilers on this. I don't know if Todd and Lindsay are down, but me and Theo for sure are.
Sure.
But
I'm down.
As
I'm down.
it's being like,
Oh, you're cutting out. Hey.
well, this
Hello?
is stupid.
Oh, you're
But
back.
at the same time, I was like, oh, I enjoy the stupid in this film. So that's most of my general thought. I don't know. I really had fun with this.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think it was absurd enough. I think that was my problem. I wanted it to be goofier.
I would agree. As a connoisseur of stupid, I think that like this could have been dumber. And that is a big problem of mine, is that it's kind of just like, yeah, it's a little silly, but the silliness doesn't quite compensate for like the poor acting and like the basic script for me. That's my big issue, I think. But I get it. There are parts that are like entertaining though about it. So I do understand that.
No, I honestly totally agree with you, and I think this is normally a film I would be like, oh yeah, that was fine. Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun. I don't really have any particular thoughts. I don't know what it is, but there was just like, I think I find joy in how like committed some of the actors are. And juxtaposed to like how goofy some of the other ones are, and it's mainly Vin Diesel being a goofball, as he said, with Sam Hughes playing like the most stereotypical like like I'm actually the evil guy, fuck you. And then Guy Pearce being like your NPR professor dad, who like secretly is like the bad guy, and you kind of like, oh wait, shit! You should probably delete that. Hey. That's
Oh no! At this point,
but like, Just like I don't know, his energy, like Guy Pearce just has a very placating energy to him that I really like in movies, combined with Sam Hughes like and then I don't know the actress's name. But
it's like I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like
Isa?
Isa Gonzalez.
Isa Gonzalez, yes, Isa, where she's just this kind of like like the moral compass, and like I don't know, it just is so fun. And then you have this like random IT tech guy who's just like, can you augment my penis?
Yeah.
I know this is bad. Like, this is very bad. I just thought they were all acting in different movies, and that kind of really made it for me.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely, Theo. Just to your point, that's why
it felt
I
like.
Thought. Oh my bad, Todd. I think there is a little bit of a delay. Yeah. I was about to say. But I was just gonna say, I really thought Todd would enjoy this because his affinity to Pacific Rim, and I think these films are actually quite similar in that like Charlie Hunnam and Idris Elba are like cast as like these heroic leads, and then everybody else like Charlie Day and Bern Gorman are like these weird like campy scientists, and like Ron Perlman's this weird like fantastical, almost wizard-like character. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, similar to that, where like everyone's doing completely different acting jobs here. Like this is Guy Pearce. I don't even know what type of Guy Pearce this is, but I love it. And I don't know. I just thought this is for me like if I have to bang the gong to start a fan base or a cult following of anything, it's going to be Bloodshot. But Todd, continue. What were you going to say?
Yes.
I honestly don't remember now. So, like, what were we talking about?
The actors, the ensemble of the group, the hodgepodge mix.
Oh, I didn't mind the acting for the most part outside of Vin Diesel. I thought the group was good. I get the similarities that you're saying to Pacific Rim. I kind of see them. I understand what you're talking about. To me, Pacific Rim just had like a higher level of actors playing the role. Like to me, I'll take a Charlie Huntsman over Vin Diesel most days, except for some reason Vin Diesel really works in the Fast and the Furious franchise. I don't know why, but it's just like, okay, yeah, you're perfect. You work in this. And then outside of that, I tend to not like him. So I think it's performances, and then there were no giant robots fighting here. And that's a problem for me.
The robots were small.
The robots were too small.
Hey, and Vin Diesel is giant. We can do scores on this, and then we'll go to the spoiler content or the spoiler discussion. Todd, what are you giving this film out of 10?
I gave it a 3 out of 10. This is a no for me. I put in my review, I don't like that like Corona is gonna kind of immortalize this film because I want it to be forgotten.
All right, Lindsay, what are you giving this film out of 10?
Oh, I gave this a 5 out of 10. I think it's like exactly an average movie.
Honestly, though, we'll take it because Lindsay is a fellow ally, raising the average of Bloodshot. But Theo, what are you gonna go with for Bloodshot?
For Bloodshot, I'm gonna give it a really solid flour sack to the face. That's how I feel about it.
And then to finish things out, I'm I think I did ratings for The Hunt. I think I said numerical, but I'm honestly feeling an 8 out of 10 on this. It's a stupid movie.
Yes.
But I just, for whatever reason, I just found myself being like, oh, well, this is stupid for me. And I honestly, even if you haven't seen Bloodshot, if you don't want to see it, then feel free to listen to the spoiler talk. Because I don't think anybody's out there like, whoa, don't spoil the new Vin Diesel movie for me. So if you want to check that out, make sure to head over to that. It'll be linked at the end of the video. That's going to do it for this review. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Theo. And let's head to spoilers.